Mili, I want to tell you about 2 podcasts for men that you should listen to. Not you, because they're for men.
But I can
But
understand you.
You who is watching. Super important, Mili. There's 2 that I love. One is called That Tire Podcast, and the other one is called Maverick River Podcast. But one of them, Mili, is recorded right here in this studio.
Cool.
Okay? So I'm going to tell you first about That Tire a little bit because it's, let's just say, it's the one from far away. Okay? So you ready? Here we go. Look, That Tire. So you can check it out at thattire.com. And I started listening, and the reason I'm bringing these 2, Mili, is because one of them, Maverick River, it's recorded here. So that's how I came to know about it. But, you know, the more I record their episodes and stuff, I'm like, oh, wow, this is solid. This is super important. I've learned so much just by recording it that I'm like, okay, I want to promote this more. But then also That Tire is another podcast, Mili, that I've been listening to, not all the time, but I've been listening to since, I would say, almost like 10 years ago, maybe. It's a really, like, it's been going on forever. So I'm like, okay, these guys are solid. You know, if they have been doing it for so long, that means they are committed. They know what they're doing. They're probably saying stuff that is ringing true to a lot of men. So that's one. And then also, one of my favorite musicians, who is Jon Foreman, was a guest maybe in the earlier episodes of this podcast, That Tired. So I'm like, okay, that to me kind of like solidified it. But super needy and important, Mili, podcast for men. So highly recommend That Tired. But the other one I want to mention, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what it looks like, is this one, Maverick River. So any similarities with the space we're at right now and the background
For the rest of your
is this
life,
one.
You have Cheeto fingers on both.
So good. So they always start with like something kind of like fun. And this is Tim Luque, and he's got guests, right? All recorded here. And I mean, he kind of like travels, and his ministry is all over the place, but mainly out of here of Orange County, California. So highly recommend this one, Mili. It's been produced right here. But let me tell you a few of the like key elements that you can find on their website on why Christian ministry for men is so needed. Okay, so Maverick River. And let me go over here where it says why men's ministry. So check this out, Mili. This is problematic. Okay, many men in America are falling behind economically, spiritually, and relationally. The changing nature of work, friendships, and masculine concepts are partially to blame for this decline.
Wow.
Okay, so check what it says right here. 70% of suicides in 2020 were men.
Wow.
That represents 32,000 deaths in 2020.
And you
the year
will
of
think
COVID.
that's women's, right?
Yes.
Because probably we're the ones we show more our expression, so we talk about it.
But no, 70% men. 39%, the average American congregation is roughly 61% female and 39% male. So there's more women going to church than men. Okay, 36% of men are less likely to share their personal issues with friends and families. So men don't really share what's going on in their life. Check this one out. More than 6 million men suffer from depression per year. There's a lot of depression going on, but male depression often goes undiagnosed, is what you said. Like men are less likely, I guess, to share their emotions and how they're feeling.
They don't
and all
talk
of that,
about it.
right? 18.4 million children. This is just sad, Mili. 18.4 million children. That means 1 in 4 children are without a biological, a step, or adoptive father at home. So they don't have a male figure. 1 out of 4.
So sad.
That's insane in America. That's problematic. 10%, only 10% of churches in the US have men's ministry.
That's crazy.
Only 10%. Wow. I mean, that's a problem, right? And check this
But
out.
I see that more as an opportunity, Beto,
Yes.
because people need to wake up and say like, okay, I think as a church, that's what we're looking at it. What we can do that we can impact outside. There we go. There you have it, right? We need nice and amazing programs of Bible studies or whatever, just specifically for men. Because they're the head of the house.
Yes. Men today are attending church less than in the past. Men today are the largest unreached people group in the country.
Wow.
You want to be a missionary in the U.S.? Be a missionary to men. Wow, that's powerful. The typical U.S. congregation draws an adult crowd that's 61. Oh, we already read that one. Men today are causing the majority of the problems in our society. Check this out. 90% of all crime are by men. 99% of all rapes are committed by men.
Oh, boy.
Men commit 95% of all burglaries. Men commit 91% of all abuses to the family. 94% of all drunk drivers are men. Wow. I mean, that's staggering. There are 15 male prisoners for every female prisoners.
That's why I love Jordan Peterson, because he always talk about responsibility. You know, we need more responsible men. And nowadays, Beto, is so much material, so much that we can offer, you know, just go and Google it.
Yes. So
go and reach out your neighbor. Probably he needs you. He needs a Christian man around him.
Yes. So part of this, Mili, is that we're on christianpodcast.com and we want to point people to resources, right, that will help them. And one of the main searches that I find on the internet, on Google, that people find in our website or looking for other websites is a Christian podcast for men. So that's what I thought on this little segment episode. I want to focus on 2. I don't want to give people like 10 podcasts for men. I know there's probably a few other, podcasts for men that are probably really good, but one is like this podcast with Tim LuCay is recorded here. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about his story right here, which is epic. But one is like, okay, he's here, so he's part of our network. So, I mean, we're going to talk about him. And the other one was that tire, just because I've seen them for a long time. And I didn't want to like overwhelm people that are looking for a podcast. We're like, hey, here you go, 10, 25, 30 podcasts for men. No, here's 2 that are really good.
I love it.
Focus on these 2. And then also kind of like the other thing I liked about this is that one is based in North Carolina. So it's kind of like East Coast. And then Tim LuCay's is West Coast. So I'm like, okay, this kind of covers
the cultural.
Yeah, the United States, right? So I'm like, okay, just go to these 2. But these are super good, right? And I want to show you a little bit of who Tim LuCay is. You can see him right here. And Tim LuCay is the founder of Maverick River Collective and is the men's pastor at Mariners Church in Irvine, California. If you're not familiar, Mariners Church is a mega church. It's huge. Probably one of the most attended and well-known churches in Southern California, maybe right next to Saddleback Church. With over 20 years of ministry experience, Tim has cultivated a leadership style that is both dynamic and entrepreneurial. Since taking the helm of Mariners Men's Ministry in 2016, he has led it to remarkable growth, seeing a 300% increase in participation. Under his leadership, the ministry has transformed from a group with a median age of 55 plus. So they started basically with older men to a ministry that's multi-generational community of men ranging from their 20s to the 90s. That's impressive, Mili. They went from like being basically like 55 and over to now they have from 20-year-olds to 90 years old.
That's great.
Ministry. Awesome. He's a visionary leader. Tim has also expanded the Men of Mariners Ministry to over 100 life groups, offering countless opportunities for men to connect, serve, and grow in their faith.
Wow.
The ministry hosts 3 major annual retreats, Kayak, G4, Men Camp, with up to 400 attendees each, providing intentional spaces for men to deepen their relationship with God. Not only that, Mili, like this year, they're also going abroad. They're going to do a men's camp in Costa Rica.
Wow.
That's kind of like unheard of.
That's nice.
They're just like going out of the...
Let's go and explore the world.
Yeah, let's go and explore the world as men.
So
So it's
go,
so cool.
Beto. You can go with them. I
Yes.
allow you to go.
Thank you.
Oh, no, you can.
Hey, not right now, Mili.
Never
In
mind.
2023, team founded Maverick River Collective, an organization dedicated to igniting men to follow Jesus and radically transform the world around them. Team believes that when men's hearts are activated by Christ, everything changes from marriage and fatherhood to the workplace, community, and church.
Let's go.
And
I love
boom.
it. Oh, what
There's
a
Team
beautiful family.
Luque with
Look at that.
his family couldn't be even
So
more
cute.
good looking than that. If you have a family that's more good looking than that,
Ours.
I don't.
Just kidding.
Not even ours, Millie. Oh, what a beautiful family!
cute.
It reminds me actually of our family because they have 2 boys and a girl,
So it's
right? So cute. Okay, so highly recommend the Maverick River podcast and that tire. I think these are podcasts, Millie, that are. I
See,
mean,
Beto, God is always working.
God is.
God is
Yes.
always working.
Say something, Millie. Say something. Take it away.
I'm just so happy, like we see all this percentage and negativity that, oh, men are bad. But, I'm so thankful for pastors like Mike. They're God is using them, to share the gospel and for the men to be a man. I'm so excited.
Yes. So we'll keep it kind of short. We just wanted to tell you about 2 awesome Christian podcasts for men that you shouldn't miss. They're going to elevate your manhood. So
Good.
go listen to it right now. And especially, Maverick River is partially, I guess, produced right here because some of the content is filmed at this studio.
For now.
And I'm just, every time I'm recording, I'm like, you guys are so good. I'm loving the topics. There's one in which he invited a guest and they talk about circumcision in, I think it was the country of Kenya in Africa at 12 years old. So it was pretty fun, but it's also, there's an abundance of knowledge in why they do it at that age. It was so cool, Millie. It was fun. It was quirky. You learn a lot. And you're inspired as a man. Like, wow. This is just powerful, impactful, highly recommend. That's it.
So cool.
Okay. Thank you for visiting us here at christianpodcast.com. Maybe give us a positive comment, review, like, subscribe, etc. Sas?
See you next time.